Oh, never mind.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 2025 Intercity Basketball Tournament on the Inkspot. It's game number 1, not only the Intercity Basketball Tournament, but also the basketball season for the Normal Community Ironmen. I'm Joel Swanson, joined by Pranav Bukya and also Yusuf Abed as well. And gentlemen, our first game of the season, how excited are you?
I'm pretty excited. I can't really wait to see this Ironman team come out and perform on a night like this, right? First game of the Intercity tournament for the boys, so it'll especially be a really fun one.
Yusuf, how about you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with Kobe Walker gone now this year, graduated, I feel like it's a smaller lineup. I'm excited to see how they work, especially from beyond the arc.
Yeah, it should be interesting, and that's the thing about high school basketball. There's always new pieces every single year, and then you got to fit those pieces together. But you did mention something, Yusuf. Normal Community is very used to having a 6'9", 6'10" post guy. That player is not there this year, so it's going to be a little bit of a different basketball team for the Ironmen.
For sure, yeah.
We'll kind of see how that works out. The Ironmen are very, very talented, and they take on a Normal West squad tonight that a year ago Normal Community was a huge favorite, but that was a really good ball game in the first game of the Intercity tournament. It's kind of one of those rivalries. You kind of throw out the records. West is going to play hard, and they're going to push Normal Community pretty hard tonight.
That's right. But I still hope the Ironmen will come out with the win for this one.
Yeah, and certainly would be nice to get off to a really nice start. Let's go ahead and take a real quick look at kind of what happened for both of these teams a year ago. Normal Community was 28-7 last year, 10-0 in the Big 12 Conference. That included a championship in the Intercity tournament. They started the tournament off by beating Normal West 60-55 a year ago, knocked off U-High 62-43, beat Bloomington Central Catholic 67-45, and knocked off Bloomington in the last game 59-31 to win the Intercity championship. On the other side for Normal West, coming off a 7-21 season, 1-9 in the Big 12. They went this way in the Intercity tournament. Lost to Normal Community in game number 1, 60-55. Lost to U-High, 51-49. They beat Bloomington 36-34 and knocked off Central Catholic 59-52. So they left the Intercity tournament at 2-2. What we kind of saw last year was Normal Community won the title, but Normal West was extremely competitive in every single game, even though they only won 7 contests. You got to think we can expect the same thing from the Wildcats tonight. This is a good basketball program, and they're going to put a pretty good team on the floor as well. What do you guys think about the Wildcats here in 2025-2026?
Everything that you just said about the records and all, it's really impressive. But honestly, I just want to say that was last year's team, right? And that's true for every team here. So it's honestly just going to be really exciting to see how this Wildcat team comes out and plays tonight, especially with a couple new pieces. And, just kind of excited to see what they did over the offseason.
Absolutely. And Yusuf, your thought on the Wildcats?
Yeah, so last year they started off a young team, inexperienced, is what a lot of people thought. It's good to see that a team now, over a long offseason, you get chemistry going, you get a little bit more trust in your teammates. We're going to see the trust here on the court tonight. They
played a lot of sophomores last year, quite a few juniors, and that might pay off this year for a much more experienced basketball team, especially some sophomores that kind of took their lumps on the varsity level a year ago, and that might really pay off for them. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, it's just a lot of experience is what you need to get going. And before, in any sport, when you have a young team, you have high expectations for the year after, and maybe it might be a bumpy ride to get to that year with the previous years before, but when you get to that year, it's exciting, and it usually causes a big splash.
And we'll see if they get that big splash. And, boy, they could start it off in game number 1 here tonight. These two teams played 3 times last year. Normal Community won every single one of those games. We mentioned the one in the Intercity. The Ironmen knocked off the Wildcats 60-55. That was the very first game of the year for both teams. Then you have to go all the way to February, where Normal Community won a home game over West 68-37. Wow. And if you remember a year ago, though, they had to turn around and play West in the first game of the regional then. So they played them on a Friday, came back, and I think played them again on a Tuesday. It was a really, really quick turnaround. Normal Community won that game 62-49. So these two teams tangled quite a bit a year ago. Not sure what this season will bring, but they saw each other quite a bit on the floor. Let's talk about the Ironmen a little bit and what we can expect out of Normal Community. You guys already mentioned Kobe Walker, the all-state post player, is gone. Who do we feel like is going to replace him maybe somewhat in the scoring column? Boy, the rebounding is going to be tough. Kobe was maybe as good a rebounder as the school has ever seen, but talk about maybe some guys that have to step up this year to become maybe that big go-to guy for the Ironmen.
Right, so, I mean, as of right now, I think Carter Harris is that number 5. He's going to be starting in that spot. I mean, to be honest, though, and, I mean, no hate on Carter, but he's obviously just not as big or as tall as Kobe Walker or Jaheim Weber was a couple years ago. So it's definitely going to be interesting what, Coach Witzik will have planned and what he does with that kind of adjustment without that player. I could definitely see kind of a 4-1, like 5, just like completely spread offense, but not really have one in the paint all the time. I could definitely see that happening, or, and I could also definitely see a lot more, Jarrell Brown and Chase Caston. I can see them having the ball a lot more as they're, I mean, even though they're sophomore and junior, they still had varsity minutes last year, and they're both pretty elite scorers. So I could definitely see them kind of taking that shot more and more often.
Sure. Yeah, Yusuf, your thoughts on replacing Kobe?
Yeah, when anyone asks me about this team, I always kind of relate it to the 2019 Houston Rockets. They had a 6'9" center in the NBA, and I just relate it to this because they had such a big center in Kobe Walker last year, and they're going down to what it seems like a small ball. I'm expecting Jarrell Brown and the young Chase Caston to come in here and carry that scoring column, especially beyond the arc. And they can also make some good plays. They're very athletic, and they've shown that they can get the job done.
Yeah, and Pranav, you talked about Normal Community last year was a 4-out, 1-in team. Kobe Walker was the permanent post. That's where he was all of the time. This team will be a little different. They'll be able to move guys in and out of that post position and maybe be able to create some more opportunities, open up the lane a little bit more this year to be able to dribble drive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we'll kind of see what that looks like. Now, the returners this year for the major minutes for Normal Community, Andrew Nauer played quite a bit a year ago.
That's right.
Jarrell Brown played quite a bit a year ago. Trey Burdett played quite a bit a year ago. So they are bringing back some experienced guards, especially Trey and Andrew saw a tremendous amount of minutes. That's a huge advantage for a team, bringing back some experienced guards. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, Andrew, bringing back Andrew Nauer, kind of point guard, who worked his way up to a starting spot last year, actually, which is really impressive. It's really going to be fun to see him back and kind of just control this offense along with Trey Burdett. Just kind of excited to see the plays that Woodson kind of drew up for them.
Yep, your thoughts on that, Yusuf?
I mean, Andrew Nauer, I remember last year, whenever Andrew Nauer would come in, I felt like the crowd would get on their feet. He was such a good defensive player. In tough situations and tight situations, they'd bring Andrew Nauer in for the defensive skill set that he owns. And I felt like it benefited the team so much. And to see him actually step up into that starting role, I'm excited to see what he does with the ball and against the ball.
Yeah, and if you look at Trey Burdett, who played point guard a lot for Normal Community a year ago, lots of speed out there from Burdett. But I also remember from Trey, the ability to hit big shots in big games and in big moments. And they're going to need that this year. Maybe talk about Trey's game and what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I just want to talk about last year. I think it was against Peoria High where he hit that game-winning 3 to seal the game. And honestly, I remember I was at that game, and the crowd really went wild. It's really, I mean, it was just a crazy shot. So, I mean, just kind of having him back, having that clutch factor, that ice in the veins, if I would say. It's just really going to be, awesome to see what he has in store for today.
I think that's also important in this particular scenario. It's the Intercity, it's at the Shirk Center, and you're playing in front of everybody you know. Yeah. So ice water in the veins is a good thing to have, because for these guys, it's the first game of the year. There's still a lot of pressure on them tonight just because everybody knows everybody right now in the Shirk Center, and they're all kind of looking at, hey, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you're coming with kids that you're playing against kids that you've, played against your whole life.
And maybe some kids you played with in middle school as well.
Right, exactly.
I mean, so there's a lot of crossovers in this game.
Yeah.
It should be really fun. What a way to kick off the Inkspot season. Normal West and Normal Community, the crosstown rivalry. It's the Intercity as well. Both teams really want to come off and get off to a great start. We're getting ready for the national anthem here from the Shirk Center. Can't think of a better venue here for game number 1 on the Inkspot here in the 2025-2026. Now to the PA announcer as we get ready for the starting lineups and our national anthem.
Normal Intercity Athletics is proud to announce State Farm as the title sponsor of the annual State Farm Normal Intercity Basketball Tournament. We would like to welcome everyone in attendance tonight and remind you to support the mission of the IHSA and Scholastic Athletics by always promoting the ideals of positive sportsmanship. Show your support to all players, coaches, fans, and today's officials by cheering for them in an encouraging and positive manner. Okay. Before we meet the players for tonight's contest, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and join in the playing of our national anthem. First, let's meet the starters for the Ironmen. At 1 forward, 6'5", sophomore number 23, Chase Keston. At the other forward, 6'7", junior number 4, Jarrell Brown. At the post position, 6'5", senior number 11, Carter Harris. At 1 guard, 5'11", senior number 3, Andrew Nauer. And at the other guard, 6', senior number 5, Trey Burnett. The Ironmen are coached by Dave Whitson and a lot of assistant coaches. Now let's meet the starters.
Welcome back here to the Shirk Center. We are getting ready for the first game of the Intercity Basketball Tournament. We are meeting the starting lineups. Number 1 for Normal West, the 6-foot junior, is Tyson Hernandez. Number 11 is a 6'5'8" junior, Oliver Brookins. Number 13, Chase Sennett. He is a 6'3" sophomore for the Wildcats. Number 3 is Charlie Hanks, a 5'8" junior. And number 4, Malik Givens, a 5'9" senior. Well, kind of looking at the starting lineup, guys. We talked about Normal Community not having as much size as they had last year, but they have tremendously more size than Normal West does, especially in that starting lineup. It'll be interesting to see how the height and the size matches up. Normal Community, even though they don't have the 6'9" guy, nobody's going to take pity on the Ironmen. They're going to go 6'7", 6'5", 6'5" on the front line with a couple of experienced guards. So this will be an interesting beginning here. And here we go. Real quickly before we tip off, thoughts on the contest tonight?
Yeah, so, I mean, as I said before, it's going to be a really exciting matchup. I expect this one to be a close game. I mean, as you said, Normal Community went 3 or was it 4-0 last year against West?
Yeah, went 3-0 against West a year ago. Yep.
I'm sure West is coming into this game with a chip on their shoulder. They're expecting to make a bunch of big plays, and I bet they're really trying to get their, revenge from last year.
Now Burdett down the lane with the left hand, and Normal Community gets the first bucket of the 25-26 basketball season from Trey Burdett, the senior guard, who started for the Ironmen most of the season a year ago. And Normal Community now coming out in man-to-man defense here. Off to our right, a sea of orange from the Ironmen. A lot of West students off to our left here. As down low inside, looking, that was Brookins. He'll put it back out now to Malik Givens. And they'll swing it around the horn here as Normal West will be patient on the offensive end. Kick in the corner to Sennett. Sennett can really shoot it all the way to the basket, and we're going to have 2 shots coming up here now. As I did notice this, but I do believe we're playing with a shot clock.
That's
here.
right. I was just about
this
to,
game. Pranav, you were probably about ready to say that.
yeah, I mean, I was just about to talk about it. The shot clock is something they're adding next year, I'm pretty sure, to all games.
All games, exactly right.
This year they're having it in some tournament games. And,
I love it. Yeah, I think it's a great idea, especially if you have one already. You might as well go ahead and use it.
Exactly. So
and get everybody used to it. You're exactly right. It's going to come into high school basketball. It will probably be the biggest change since the three-point line came in back in 1988. So it's going to be a huge change for everybody. As no good as Sennett comes up 0 for 2 at the free throw line. 2-0 Ironmen. 7 minutes to go here. First quarter. Thanks for joining us here on the Inkspot. It's game number 1 for us, and also number 1 for the Wildcats and the Ironmen. We're going to get our first foul of the new season. Tyson Hernandez will pick that one up, as Normal West is going to have to play physical in the post. They're giving up a lot of size, so they're going to have to push some people around to keep the Ironmen off the block and in the off the paint.
I agree.
Normal Community now with a little 1-4 low set here. Andrew Nauer rises up. That three's no good. There's Carter Harris on the board. Knocked away for a moment. Harris now back down inside, back out to Burdett. Trey looked at it, now going to get all the way to the basket inside. Nice job avoiding the charge right there. Really did a good job using his body. Could have ran him right over and picked up his first foul.
It's a good bucket by Trey Burdett right there. Good trap.
Yeah, a little run and jump pressure here from Normal Community to start the contest.
That's just the way you want to come out, though, against a crosstown rival.
And no doubt about it. And I think the beginning of the game is going to be important for Normal West to build some confidence here and see if they can stay with the Ironmen tonight.
Right.
6:18 to go here in the first quarter. 4-0 our score. Here's a 3 ball that is no good from the right side. Chase Caston will run it down. That was Tyson Hernandez that launched that one. Andrew Nauer back the other way now here for the Ironmen. See if they go to that high-low game. There's Jarrell Brown, the junior. That one no good. Rebound is going to be fought for, and it's going to be a jump ball. This one's going to belong to Normal West. Well, you look at Jarrell Brown, 6'7", junior. Obviously has that long reach as well. Jarrell's going to be an awfully good player over the next couple years.
Right. So here, I heard he's picked up a couple of D1 offers in the offseason, so, I mean, really, oh, shit.
Yeah, not surprising at all as Trey Burdett's going to pick up a foul. Now you can see Normal Community now picking up full court. The first sub to come in for the Ironmen tonight is Daniel Sykes, a 6'1" junior on the floor for Normal Community. Good job breaking the press that time by Normal West. All the way down inside is Oliver Brookins. That's that release cut up the floor. You throw it in. The guy releases up the floor, especially against man-to-man pressure. Worked really well that time for the Wildcats. Andrew Nauer now on the drive down inside, and we got a foul here against Normal West. So Brookins got the basket. He's going to pick up the foul. Second team foul against the Wildcats already. And again, Normal Community will run that 4-low set here out of bounds.
Oh.
Andrew Nauer, 3, can't ring it. Rebound picked out of there by Givens, Malik Givens. He'll kick it in the corner now, and Normal West will set the offense. 2.5 in here at the Shirk Center. 4-2, Normal Community's got the lead.
Yeah, I just want to say, starting off, it's been a really intense game.
Pushing one up down inside, and no good is Charlie Hanks.
Yeah.
Love to have that one back. That was a chippy that time right at the rim, didn't go down. Jarrell Brown now as they swing it around. Caston looks for Nauer, but he'll go baseline. Chase Caston inside, no good. Caston's got it back, puts it home. Now, if that's a glimmer of what we're going to see from Chase Caston this year, we're going to be in really good shape. 6-2 now. The Ironmen have the lead. Explosive move that time by Caston on the baseline. There's pressure out front. Brown almost got the steal. Gibbons now a reset. Nice crossover in the corner, knocked away for a moment. And now back to Givens, baseline. Oh, great shovel pass inside. An easy basket that time by Charlie Hanks. Well, we definitely see Normal Community maybe extending their defense more than they did a year ago. Really getting up in the passing lanes and trying to force some turnovers here early in the contest.
Yeah, even though this game's going on for almost 4 minutes now, I just want to say, I mean, the crowd is really, it's definitely noticeable. It's really loud in here, especially the students are getting really rowdy.
Yeah, it's been a good crowd here so far. Brown down the lane, all the way inside. He'll lay it home. Now, we've seen Normal West play some 2-3 zone in the past. We'll see if we see some of that tonight, as Normal Community's been able to get to the glass at will. The hard part for the Wildcats, they just don't have anybody who can protect the rim in there. Nobody with any size.
Right.
Back around now as Givens looked at the three, and Andrew Nauer sinking back a little bit off of him.
Dale Sykes with good defense.
Brookins on the dribble drive. Oh, and a foul. I think this is on Chase Caston. And that's his first, team second. Yeah, if he caught some of the arm, he didn't catch a lot of it.
You know, I have a lot of respect for referees. I'm a Little League baseball umpire myself, but, you know, there's some calls where you're just kind of like, what did he see right there?
That was one of them?
Yeah.
Free throw up and no good that time by Oliver Brookins. A 5'8 junior as West. Hernandez is a junior, Hinks a junior, Givens is a senior, Brookins a junior, and Sennett a sophomore, as we see Mitchell Potts in the lineup now. A couple of juniors seeing some action as Daniel Sykes and also Potts in the lineup as Oliver Brookins knocks down the back end of two. He's got 3 points now in the contest. West stays with that man-to-man defense as they trail 8-5 here, 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Burdick now over to Potts. Mitch turns the corner, gets down inside. Nice little pass. Oh, Burdick couldn't finish it. Boy, got all the way to the rim, and Trey left that one a little bit short. West now could get within one or tie with a three. Givens on the outside. A.J. Ince now in the contest for Normal Community. Coach Witzik going to his bench here early on. Only one starter on the floor for the Ironmen. That's Jarrell Brown, and the three is down for Normal West. That's Chase Sennett. He can really shoot it. They're going to have to find him, and the Wildcats tied at 8. Under 3 we go now here in the first quarter. Out front now is Burdick. Over to Jarrell Brown. Brown down the lane inside.
Ooh.
Couldn't finish with the right hand. Here comes the Wildcats now trying to take the lead. Coach Hufferman says 4 low. Let's see what that is going to be. That's exactly what you got here. And they turn it over.
Good steal.
Mitchell Potts able to pick that one off. All the way down the lane now, back out to Ince. They'll find Burdick. Trey inside, had it knocked away. Ends up with Daniel Sykes, but a foul coming up on Grant Marvel that time. He'll pick up the foul.
You know, we were talking about how size is going to be a thing here for community, a problem, we would say. But tonight, I think they're going to have to rely on it, which is a rare occasion that we'll see throughout the season.
Yeah, they definitely have a size advantage over West. There's no doubt about that. Jarrell Brown, 3, no good. Rebound tipped around, the Wildcats have it. As Givens has the rebound now, 2:15 to go first quarter, 8-8 our score. As the Wildcats now set it up in the half court. Sanchez over to Givens. Givens gets a screen up top. His 3 ball on the way. That's no good. A.J. Ince has the rebound for the Ironmen. Kicks it out to Potts. Here comes Mitchell Potts. And it looked like the ball rolled off his hand. You have to remember it's the first game of the season. Everybody's going to be a little bit nervous. Should have been a foul, but Givens lays it in anyway. Lee Givens' first bucket of the season. And it's 10-8 now. Normal West has the lead under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this before the game even started, but it's obviously going to be a close one, right? Even in those first quarter, we've had a couple leads, Normal Community was in the lead, and then West took it over, but.
Here's a 3, no good that time. We're going to get a foul coming up against Normal West. Pushing foul in the back as the Ironmen have missed some outside shots. Grant Marvel is going to pick up his second personal foul, 4th team foul. Carter Harris now back in the lineup here for Normal Community. Carter didn't see a lot of minutes last year, but big expectations for him inside, coming off a terrific baseball season as well in the spring. Right. Another guy who had a great baseball season was Andrew Nauer. Nauer inside, powers it up with the right hand and scores. He's got his first 2 of the year. 10-10 now with 1:15 to go in the first quarter. So Wildcats and the Ironmen deadlocked here as we come up on the 1-minute mark of quarter number 1 of the first game of the Intercity. They are playing with a shot clock this year in the Intercity tournament. Should really make things interesting, as all teams will be adjusting to that. Hernandez now kicks it back out to Hanks. They'll swing it around to Givens. He'll now reset the offense. 55 seconds to go in the quarter. West trying to find somebody open. Andrew Nauer picked it off. Gibbons got it back down the lane. Malik inside. Over Harris is no good. Ended up on the deck air at the Shirk Center. Andrew Nauer back the other way. We'll see if Coach Witzik wants one shot. 35 seconds to go here in the quarter. Let's see if the Ironmen are patient. Well, Andrew Nauer says not one shot. I'm taking the three. That's no good that time. Rebound picked out of there now by the Wildcats. 25 on the clock as Gibbons slows this down. You got to think they're going to want one shot now. Down to 20 seconds. Now they'll swing it around. Clock at 15 for the Wildcats to shoot. Inside, Hernandez will lay it home. That was a well-run play. Under 10 we go. Andrew Nauer now over the half-court line with 5. Andrew with 3. Andrew with 2. He's going to have to let it go. Down inside, he got it off, and no good. It did not count. It was not in time, and that's the end of quarter number 1. 1 quarter down from the Shirk Center tonight. Our score, Normal West 12, Normal Community 10. You are watching Normal Community Ironman basketball on the Inkspot. Green Gables is back and better than ever at Lake Bloomington, serving up world-famous smash burgers cooked to order from 11 to 9 every day of the week. Family-friendly atmosphere, legendary flavor. For more, visit greengablesgrill.com. For over 125 years, Student Journal has offered a voice to students of Normal Community High School. Although a lot has changed since, the Inkspot's mission is to support free and responsible scholastic journalism has remained the same. Consider supporting the Inkspot's efforts to create exceptional journalism by making a donation to our award-winning publication. A link to donate is located on each and every one of our articles on nchsinkspot.com. All right, we are done with 1 quarter. Yusuf, let's start with you. What are your thoughts about quarter number 1?
I think both teams are being very aggressive. They're looking for fouls, though, and these refs don't seem like they're going to give it. They're not giving it to them easy. You know, I think what's been getting better with the officiating over the years is their ability to see when someone is not actually getting fouled, when someone actually isn't getting into that contact, and it's looking like a good game so far. I'm excited to see what the rest of the quarters have to do.
All right, Pranav, your thoughts on quarter number 1?
I agree with Yusuf. I do want to mention one thing you touched on earlier, though, about the shot clock. Andrew Nauer actually told me that last year only 3% of the Ironmen's plays actually would have, would have been a shot clock violation. So it's actually pretty interesting to already know. But looks like Trey Bird came out wanting to get hot, started off with a 3.
Yeah, Chase Caston cleans it up that time for the Ironmen inside. As Chase has his second bucket right there, ties the game at 12. Normal Community continues to put full court pressure on here against Normal West with those 2 quick guards out front, and Andrew Nauer and also Trey Burden. I think they put those 2 on the wrong side of the board there a second ago. We'll see if they get that cleaned up. It should be 12-12 right now.
Fixed it.
There it goes. Now Gibbons inside, goes all the way down, and Jarrell Brown got a piece of that one. Caston's got it back the other way for the Ironmen. Chase will slow it down. Great steal that time. Knocking that one away was Charlie Hanks for Normal West. And the Wildcats will slow things down here.
That block was really kind of an electric play, I would say. Really gets the crowd hyped up, and as well as your players. But kind of giving that ball away, especially letting them get a steal, just kind of kills that momentum, I would say. But yeah, Ironmen looked to be responding pretty well.
Chase Sennett spotted up for a 3 right there, hit the front rim, and didn't go down that time for Normal West. Still tied at 12. Looked like we had a little trap there. Oh, inside Burdett. Nice job getting to that high post. Doesn't go. Caston tried to dig it out, and it's a loose ball. It's going to be Normal West basketball here. Almost thought maybe Normal West went to a 2-3 zone that time, as they've played quite a bit of zone in the past. Saw mostly man-to-man in that first quarter. And let's see if the Ironmen now will continue to pressure the Wildcats. 6:37 to go here before halftime. 12-12 our score, as Hernandez will bring it up once again. Got to watch Andrew Nauer to see if he's going to come trap. And they'll let Hernandez go over the timeline here. There comes the trap, and we get a travel that time on Chase Sennett. Pressure for the Ironmen paying off for Normal Community.
Yeah, that was a great call there by the ref.
Yeah, just took a little shuffle step that time before he put the ball on the deck. 6.5 to go, second quarter, and there's that zone from Normal West. Little 2-3 zone. Probably try to take away the dribble penetration of the Ironmen that really hurt Normal West in that first quarter. Well, they didn't stop the dribble penetration that time, and I got to think that when Jarrell Brown gets 5 feet away from the basket, he's probably going to shoot it most of the time. He's got such good extension at 6'7", but that'll come as the season goes along.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I saw Chase Castle in the corner wide open.
Yeah.
I was expecting Jarrell to kick it out, then I remembered could probably just take it for himself.
Yeah, Jarrell Brown definitely had some options there. Didn't quite work out like he wanted it to. There's that pressure again by Normal Community in the backcourt. Givens now hands it off up the top to Brookins as Normal West will work it around. Givens now in the dribble drive, pulls up, nice little 10-footer on the run. And Givens has his second bucket. He's got 4 in the contest now. 14-12, Normal West has the lead. Jarrell Brown to the baseline, nice defense, really good help defense by the Wildcats. Jump ball coming, and there it is. Oh, he called timeout, he gave it to him. He's gonna give him the timeout, and Normal Community able to call timeout just a moment before the tie-up on that particular possession. The Inkspot covers community from every angle. News, sports, and student life. Read more at nchsinkspot.com and follow at NCHS Inkspot on social media. This winter will be courtside every Friday night home game, covering both ends of the girls and boys basketball doubleheaders. Follow the action all season at nchsinkspot.com/live. And that will be exciting. A lot of boys and girls doubleheaders this year, and also the Intercity boys and girls games here. The girls started last week. The boys will finish up this week. Schedule looking like this. Tonight, Normal West and Community boys, U-High and Bloomington boys. That will tip at 8. Tomorrow night, it'll be a girls doubleheader as the Ironmen take on the Raiders in Game 1 and the Wildcats take on the Saints in Game 2. And 4 games, a quadruple header on Wednesday with boys and girls games. So the Intercity expanding out here in 2025. 5:41 to go before halftime. Normal West 14, Normal Community 12. The Ironmen got a timeout just before the tie-up a few moments ago.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say right before we went to break, I mean, that play by Carter Harris is really impressive. And I mean, it's kind of what you want to see, even though you don't have that, a big guy in the post again. If you have a guy that really hustles and dives for loose balls, I mean, that would fill the gap just as well.
Trey Burdett missed a 3 from the corner right there. And now, for the first time, we're going to see Makai Burdett in the game here. 5'9" sophomore comes in the lineup for the Ironmen.
It's going to be, pretty fun to see see Trey playing with his younger brother. I bet it's a great experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Normal Community, we talked about Normal West being so young. The Ironmen are going to play a lot of sophomores and juniors this year. Hernandez now over the 10-second line. Trapped by Andrew Nauer. They'll throw it across, and they throw it right to Jarrell Brown.
Good steal.
Brown now up to Nauer. Andrew inside, has to kick it back out. And the 3 by Burdett is no good. Well, he did not waste any time getting up a shot down the lane and scoring that time. All the way down is Oliver Brookins. He broke out of the pack and was able to score. Not great transition defense by the Ironmen. And now a foul on Hernandez as Jarrell Brown was trying to break out to the wing. And for Hernandez, that will be his second personal foul. First of the quarter on either team. And now the Ironmen will enter it in here, trailing 16-12. This is Normal West's biggest lead of the contest. The Ironmen led 8-4. It was a 2-point lead for West at the quarter, and Burdett has it slapped back at him by Givens. They were looking for the lob that time to Chase Caston.
Yeah, I heard this new play they just implemented this year specifically for Chase Caston.
Now Brown out front over to Caston. Caston now sets against Sennett. They swing it over to Nauer. Andrew down the lane, back outside for Jarrell Brown. 3 on the way is no good. An air ball that time. We get a pushing foul. That one's going to be against Kendall Sanchez as he's going to get called for the push on the backside. So Normal Community has not been able to find the range here so far from that 3-point line. And Normal West leads 16-12. Been a bit of an offensive struggle here so far for the Ironmen. Got out to that nice start at 8-4. Have had a hard time scoring ever since.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to those missed shots. They've had a couple opportunities beyond the arc where they're just kind of open. Really got to capitalize on those. But obviously it's the first game. You know, everyone's got the first game jitters, so it's really understandable.
Trey Burdett missed one right there. Here comes Givens all the way down the lane, and he will not miss it. Malik Givens-Smith has 6 points in the contest. 18-12 now. Normal West with their biggest lead of the contest. Now we're out front. Ironmen trailing by 6. Jarrell Brown down the lane. Looked like he traveled, and he certainly did. Good call by the official that time. Looked like Jarrell time just kind of lost his balance a little bit. He'll exit the contest here as Mitchell Potts now comes in the lineup for Normal Community. 18-12 Normal West, 3:58 to go, second quarter.
Yeah, that West crowd is really getting fired up after that travel.
With the basketball now is Oliver Brookins as Burdett went for the steal. Brookins now hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez to Sennett, and they'll set the offense here now for the Wildcats. Lots of movement. They get it to Givens-Smith on the curl. Down inside, he could not quite finish. Rebound, Mitchell Potts. Here comes Mitchell back the other way. They'll kick it in the corner now to Burdett. Burdett on the drive. We're going to get a foul that time as Kendall Sanchez is going to pick up his second personal foul and second about the last minute and a half. It's the third team foul for Normal West of the quarter, so 2 more will put the Ironmen into the 2-shot penalty here. As coming off the bench now is Antonio Alvarez, the 6-foot junior for Normal West. Now got swung to the corner. It's Makai Burdett will pick the ball up now. 3:20 to go before halftime. The second quarter has belonged to the Wildcats. 3 on the way has been no good, and the Ironmen have been ice cold, and they have not gotten back on defense. Sennett was wide open that time. And boy, there are guys getting behind that Normal Community defense. Could be some easy layups for the Wildcats. Mitchell Potts knocked that one away for just a moment. Nice back cut by Sennett all the way down. A blocking foul and on Burdett, and it is good. Chase Sennett on the backdoor cut that time. 20-12 Normal West. 2:57 to go here in the second quarter. Sennett now has 5 points in the contest and looking to knock in the the second free throw for Normal West tonight. And it's no good. He's 0 for 3, but he's got his own rebound and a timeout for Normal West. And it'll be a full timeout for the Wildcats. So guys, not a great start here for Normal Community, down 20-12. Your thoughts about the game here so far with 2:56 to go in the second quarter?
Not a good start at all. I mean, as I said earlier, it's kind of those shots that they just been missing that I feel like they should have made, but obviously, can't control everything. But there's so many wide open looks that they could have taken advantage of. But they're really struggling to here. But I'm really hoping they are able to kind of rejuvenate during halftime and are able to come back, especially for that second half.
I'm agreeing with Pranav here. I feel like a lot of the time, Normal Community has a lot of open shots. They have a lot of good opportunities. They're just not finding the bottom of the net. And they got to start making those easy buckets now so it gets easier later on.
Yeah, they certainly have had a hard time putting the ball in the basket here so far. It is game 1 of the season. A lot of nervousness on the floor as well. We'll see if they settle in as the game goes along. You're tuned in to Student Run coverage from Inkspot. Find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Blue Sky at NCHS Inkspot for all things Normal Community. 2:56 to go before halftime. 20-12, Normal West has the lead. West led 12-10 at the quarter, and it has been all Wildcats here in quarter number 2 as the Ironmen have really struggled to put the ball in the basket. As Andrew Nauer has a bucket in the contest, Jarrell Brown has 2, 4 points for Trey Burdett and 4 for Chase Caston. 3 is no good that time by Givens-Smith. He's got 6 points in the contest to lead Normal West. They've gotten good contributions from a number of guys, and we get a hold here on Charlie Hanks. And that is the 4th team foul against Normal West. And 1 more will put the Ironmen at the free throw line. Well, now we see Carter Harris and Chase Caston back in the lineup as the Ironmen get their starters back in there again. Trey Burdett now will throw it in. He's got to get it in quick. He gets it in to Chase Caston. Caston now over to Burdett, and they'll set the offense here. High screen out front. Good job hedging it that time by the Wildcats. Jarrell Brown. Nice help that time. Back out for Burdett. Three. Good. Bring it up. Trey Burdett's got his first 3 of the season. He's got 7 in the contest, and that gets Normal Community back within 5.
That was a really, really needed 3 right there. And, I mean, Trey, and a steal from Trey.
And Burdett down on the other end. He'll lay it home. It's 5 in a row by Trey Burdett. He's got 9, 20-17 now. Just like that, the Ironmen back within 3.
It's a good run by the Ironmen so far.
Let's see if they can keep it going here with a defensive stop. It's been a low-scoring game here so far. As Sennett now out. Swings that basketball around to Brookins. Now back to Sennett. Rises up. Shot no good off the heel. Oh, nice play that time by Charlie Hanks. Knocking out of bounds, but it'll belong to Normal Community. Now the Ironmen have their starters back in the lineup. We'll see if that makes a difference for them. 1:42 to go here before halftime. They take it in front of the student section here for the Ironmen. Walking it across now is Andrew Nauer as they set the offense here. Going to spread things out a little bit here against this man-to-man defense. Chase Caston's shot is no good. Andrew Nauer has the rebound. And we get a travel on the Ironmen.
Wow.
Must have changed the pivot foot that time.
I didn't see anything there, Joel. I mean, I don't even know if me and the ref are watching the same game here.
Yeah, we were certainly maybe blocked out a little bit, maybe from looking at the feet that time. Yeah. Now the Wildcats can build here on a 3-point lead as we get closer to halftime. Oh, it looked like an elbow that time. It certainly was. That one's going to go against Chase Sennett.
Now you're watching the same game?
Yeah, I saw that right there. It's a good call.
Well, let's see if the Ironmen now can trim this thing to 1, maybe get it tied before halftime as we come up on 1 minute to go here in the first half. Jarrell Brown looked at it for a second, spins down the lane, back out front for Andrew Nauer for the tie. Can't find it. Rebound pulled out of there by Normal West. Now the Wildcats will try to build on this lead here. Charlie Hanks had the rebound a moment ago. As Given Smith now over to Mason Aislinger, who's in the game for the first time. Sennett now drives down inside, runs over Andrew Nauer. It's a charging foul.
Let's go.
As Chase Sennett picks up his second personal foul. The Wildcats have 4 guys with 2 fouls. Grant Marvel, Tyson Hernandez, Chase Sennett, and Kendall Sanchez all have 2 fouls. Let's see if the Ironmen will settle for the last shot of the half here. 35 seconds to go in the half now, as looks like West has gone back to the 2-3 zone. And I do believe we have a warning here against the Wildcats.
Did you see what happened?
I must have been a warning to the bench there that time for Normal West.
Oh. Just want to say, Andrew Nauer is 0 for 4 from the 3 right now. And I played a lot of pickup basketball with Andrew over the years. I mean, he's been one of my good friends since I was very little. So it's really surprising. I mean, he's a really good sharpshooter. So
yeah,
must be just nerves. It's kind of just random right now.
Yep, it'll come as the season goes along, and maybe even in the second half. Burdett now out front, pressured heavily with 5. Oh, Burdett split him. 3 on the way, and he had to beat the shot clock that time. And I'm not sure exactly what happened. The shot clock went off, and he got it off before the shot clock went off. Everybody stopped playing, and then Normal Community just made a 3-pointer, which I'm assuming would have to count at that point.
Right.
That's what they're talking about. Now, did you see who knocked that 3 in?
I think it was Trey Burdett, back to Trey Burdett.
Got back to Trey Burdett.
Sir.
Are you sure? I thought it was Andrew that
was it
that rebounded that one. It was Andrew.
It was Andrew Nauer.
Oh, Andrew Nauer.
Right, as I was just talking about him.
It'll be ruled as a jump ball. 4 seconds remaining on the clock. Possession to the Ironmen.
That's really interesting.
So they called it a jump ball. Wow.
I mean,
Well, not a lot of argument from the Normal community bench.
I don't really know what you can do there right now. I mean, it's a little weird, kind of weird situation. I mean, with the shot clock, I mean, this is, what, the first game that these boys have been playing with the shot clock. So there's going to be some stuff like this that'll happen.
Yeah, everybody's going to have to get used to it. It'll come in full force next year. Now 4 seconds on the clock here for the Ironmen. Well, let's see if Trey can knock this one down. And he does. How about that?
There you go.
So I guess all that, we still come up with 3 points. We still have a 20-20 game at halftime. And Trey Burdett pretty much kept the Ironmen in it.
That's a good way to end the half right there.
That's his second 3 of the game. He scored 12 out of their 20 points in that first half. We have reached halftime from the Intercity basketball tournament. Well, guys, it was a little rocky there, second half of the first quarter, most of the second quarter, but the Ironmen did get the last 8 of the quarter. Yusuf, let's start with you. Your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, I mean, they're playing with trust here. They're setting each other up for good shots. Towards the end of that half, we do see player on community taking a charge. It's always good to see that there are people putting their body on the line, and it shows how much trust they have in each other to get that ball back, get the game going.
Yeah, Pranav, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, I mean, just as you were saying, that charge really shows the grit that, you know, this Ironman team has. Also, I just want to say the Ironmen went on that 8-0 run to close out the last, was it 4 minutes of the half?
Yeah, about 4 minutes, yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, that's just a great way to go into the half, great way to have momentum, especially coming in the second half. And, I mean, it looks like we're going to have a really good ball game on our hands.
Yeah, it should be a good contest and a really fun second half. Well, when we return, we will bring you the numbers from the first half here, individual scoring from half number 1, and we'll bring you the second half. Our halftime score here from the Shirk Center, Normal Community 20, Normal West 20. You are watching Ironman basketball on the Inkspot.
How do you feel being the leading scorer on your senior night blowout game?
It was good. It was good.
My co-host Brady Phelps, and also Normal Community Ironman football head coach Mr. Jason Drake.
Trey Burden, the 6-foot senior, had 12 first half points for the Ironmen. Chase Caston had 4, 2 points for Jarrell Brown, 2 points for Andrew Nauer in that first half. And 2 for Tyson Hernandez. 20-20 here at half. And Pranav and Yusuf, your guys' thoughts on what's going to happen here at half number 2?
You know, we just talked with Coach Witzig. He told us a little bit about what we were assuming before. He told us exactly they don't got a 6'9" guy underneath. They can't afford to be missing this many shots. So with a lot of their opening shots that they had, they got to seize their moment there. And he was talking about how they missed their first 8 threes, but he knows that it's just first game jitters, big, loud area. They should get it done in the second half.
Now we'll see if the shooting is better for the Ironmen, and you're exactly right. They're going to have to rely on that outside shooting more than they probably did a year ago. There is not that big guy to dump it into, and we'll see maybe if they do maybe post up some of their larger forwards a little bit more here in the second half. They've got a significant size advantage almost at every position over Normal West. Hernandez now on the dribble against Burdett. No count on yet, he turns it over. Oh, that should be an intentional foul, and it is. He grabbed him right around the waist. Yeah, really good call that time by the official. And it's going to be 2 in the ball here now for Normal Community as Chase Caston will head to the line here for the Ironmen. Well, when you got that open lane to the basket, or the opponent does, you can't grab them around the waist. You're asking for that intentional foul. And Caston now lines it up and knocks it home. Chase had 4 in the first half, now 5 points in the game, and Normal Community now continues that run that Pranav talked about. It is now 9 in a row for the Ironmen. That one is good. Make it 10 in a row now for Normal Community. They trailed 20-12 about halfway through the second quarter. Held West scoreless the rest of the way. Got the last 8 points of the half. Now got the first 2 here of the second half, and we'll see if they can keep this run going. Jarrell Brown now against the man-to-man defense for the Wildcats. Over to Caston. Chase now to Brown. Jarrell down inside, dumps it down to Carter Harris, who will lay it home. Carter Harris's first 2 of the contest. Normal Community now with 12 in a row. There's some pressure in that backcourt, and Carter Harris will pick up a foul.
The ball movement so far this game has been spectacular. I feel like it's improved a lot since last season, and it's already only just the first game of the season.
And Normal Community has been moving it well here, especially to start the half here. 7:20 to go here in the second quarter. Bird it now. Guarding Hernandez out front. The Wildcats swing it over to Givens against Andrew Nauer. Creating a little bit of space, but coming up well short. Burdett's got the rebound. Trey back the other way. He's going all the way. He missed it. Rebound, Carter Harris. Out front, Jarrell Brown. 3 on the way. That's around and out. Rebound, Harris. No, Caston's got it. Chase inside, extends and scores.
A lot of rebounding there for Normal Community. They got some big shoes to fill with Kobe Walker out, and so far they've been doing the job well.
Well, you can see maybe where some of that rebounding is going to come from. It's not necessarily going to be the height, but the length of Jarrell Brown, the length of Chase Caston. Those guys with those long arms and getting on the boards very nicely there for the Ironmen.
Yeah, Community extending that lead to 16-0 right now. I mean, really impressive for the Ironmen.
Yeah, that's been a big run here. Normal West calling timeout here with 6:51 to go in the third period, now down by 6. As Pranav, you mentioned now, Normal Community has reeled off the last 16 consecutive points going back into the first half. And Normal West has hit a really cold spell here. The Wildcats have not scored for about the last 5 minutes of the contest. We'll see if they can get something going and create some offense. Normal Community now comes out with some more full court pressure here. Looks like man-to-man pressure by the Ironmen. They'll let Normal West get it in, and look at Andrew Nauer and see if he'll come. He's just waiting for him to turn his back, and there it is. Andrew comes with that double team. Down inside for Given Smith. Back out front for Brookins, and they will start the offense here. Boy, Given Smith had a nice look at the basket that time from about 4 feet away.
He did, yeah, clearly wide open.
Yeah, decided not to take it though. Now kick it back around. Hernandez, right side, 3 is down. Well, that's a good-looking shot that time by Tyson Hernandez. That's his second bucket of the contest. He's got 5 now in the game. Pulls Normal West now back within 3. Chase Caston for 3. That's down the well.
Man, that was nice.
Caston's got 7 in the second half, 9 in the game now for the sophomore. And a 3 back the other ways around and out. Tipped around, inside Sennett will lay it home and draws the foul. And Chase Sennett with his 7th point of the game. He'll head to the free throw line here. And after kind of a slow-paced first half, things off to a much faster start to half number 2.
You know, this is the gameplay I was expecting. You know, these two in-town rivals, cross-town rivals, every year they got some history together, and they're starting to get physical, gritty, and it's starting to look nice.
Sennett's free throw is good. And for as good as a shooter as Chase is, just 1 for 4 for the free throw line. He had missed his first 3 on the evening. Jarrell Brown now in the front court. Jarrell kicks in the corner to Sykes. Daniel Sykes back up top to Nauer. Andrew down the lane inside, can't power it home. Rebound picked out of there now by Brookins. Back comes West the other way. Given Smith all the way down the lane. Now cuts back out again. He'll give it over to Hernandez. Had a big 3 a moment ago. He had a 3 to break that 16-0 run by Normal Community. Then Sennett knocked one down. Here's Hernandez again. He can't find it. Rebound ripped out of there, and Carter Harris comes up with it. Now we're in the front court here for the Ironmen. 5:10 to go, third period. 29-26 Normal Community. Bird at 3, ring it up. Trey Burden knocks it home. That's his 3rd triple of the night. He's got 15 for Normal Community. 32-26, the Ironmen have the lead under 5 now here in the 3rd. Out front now is Charlie Hanks, gives the ball to Sennett. Tried to give it back to Hanks. Jarrell Brown came up with it. Brown drops it to Bird, who lays it home. It's an 8-point lead for the Ironmen. Oh, a nice pass that time by Jarrell Brown. Give him the assist on that play. And the Ironmen have their biggest lead of the game now at 34-26. Hernandez inside. Hanks has it blocked by Sykes. Wow. Up ahead. Bird it now. Can he save it? He can, but he's actually on the line out of bounds. A little bit too much that time on the pass. And Jarrell Brown throws it away. A Normal Community getting up and down the floor. And I think, guys, this is a little bit more of what we're going to see from the Ironmen this season, this kind of full-court game.
Bird, it looks like he's accepted his scoring role. He's been looking a lot more comfortable beyond the arc and inside.
Yeah, more of maybe of a facilitator at times last year. Could put points on the board, but Normal Community will need more scoring this year from Burden. Here's a 3 on the outside. Gibbons, that's short. Rebound picked out of there by Hanks. A lot of people thought it was a push in the back. Might have been a pretty good case. Good job by Sykes getting out on Sennett, but he picks up the foul right there. I know the Normal Community coaching staff not happy with the lack of a foul call on that rebound a few moments ago, but 3:54 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 34-26, Normal Community leads Normal West. The Ironmen coming off a 28-7 season a year ago that saw them lose in the sectional final to Quincy. Nice job by Daniel Sykes with good, yeah, that's Mitchell Potts actually back there, putting good pressure on the basketball. West coming off a 7-21 season last year, played a lot of younger players on that particular team, lost to Normal Community in the first game of the regional, 62-49. Here's a 3 that's no good that time for Normal West. Shot clock was running down. It's a 35-second shot clock. Now we're back the other way. Over to Burdett. Now swings it around to Sykes. Now to Potts. Nauer comes off a double screen. 3 on the way. Got it. That's exactly what you talked about, Pranav. 3-pointer that time for Andrew Nauer.
Yeah, glad to see him start knocking down some shots.
Yeah, really ice cold in the first half, and Nauer picks up a foul right there. Andrew's got 5 now in the game, and Normal Community has a double-digit lead. Ever since Normal West led 20-12, well, the Ironmen have really dominated this game here. 25-6 run by Normal Community ever since halfway through the 2nd quarter. It's been all Ironmen. Sennett now outside. The head fake and down the lane. Pull-up jump shot is no good right there for Grant Marvel. And now we go under 3 minutes. The Ironmen by 11. Burden now in the front court. Look out front now. Sykes inside for Carter Harris. Harris had it knocked away at the last moment. A little bit of high-low that time. And boy, Carter Harris has at least 3 or 4 inches on most of those guys down there on the front line. Chase Senna is actually by far the tallest player West has out there right now, and he's 6'3". And now Hernandez back in the lineup. And West just does not have a lot of size. Also back in the lineup for Normal West is Kendall Sanchez as well. And here comes Jarrell Brown back in there for Normal Community. He'll replace Carter Harris. So Harris exits the game there. He's got 2 points so far in the contest. Birdie now coming to the corner. Trey looked at it. Oh, he stepped out of bounds. He sure did. The official was right on top of it. Good head fake that time by Trey Burditz. And you can understand why the Wildcats are flying out at him. He's got 17 points in the game. And when you only have 37 on the board, that's a pretty good chunk for your team there. He's got 3 triples already down in the contest. And they were trying to find him in the corner. Normal Community by 11. 2:40 to go here, third quarter. Hernandez now against Burdett. Hernandez trying to get down the lane. A.J. Ince is in the contest now for Normal Community. Out front now is Gibbon Smith in the corner. Nice head and shoulder fake that time. Grant Marvel, and he got Jarrell Brown up in the air, and Brown picking up the foul.
Brown is super aggressive on defense, and it's good to see, especially with them being not as tall. They can't afford to have these rebounds coming back to them. They got to create their defense, got to create their own contest.
That's 5 team fouls now in Normal Community, so that's going to be 2 shots now the rest of the quarter here for Normal West. So this is going to have to be something that the Ironmen are going to have to be careful about as Grant Marvel rolls that one in. So far tonight for Normal West, they have had 7 free throw attempts. They've only made 3 of them, only 3 out of 7 so far in the contest. Second free throw by Marvel is up, and he rolled that one around as well and knocked it home. So Grant Marvel's got his first 2 points for the game, and that cuts the lead under 10 now here with 2:25 to go in the third quarter. 37-28. Thanks for joining us here on the Inkspot. It's game number 1 of our season here. We'll be bringing you Friday night action of Normal Community Basketball this year. Trey Burdett down the lane, wouldn't go. There's Daniel Sykes. Nice play that time by the junior as he's able to finish at the rim.
These guys are just playing for each other. They know that when a shot goes up, it's their responsibility to get the shot either back for them or get back on defense. They're doing a good job controlling the two.
Yeah, you can see why Daniel Sykes is getting quite a bit of playing time here. But the junior has really played well off the bench for Normal Community. See if he can knock in the free throw here, and he rims it around. Oh, that one drops out on him. Hernandez has the rebound, but the Ironmen able to extend that lead back to double digits again. Coming up on the 2-minute mark of the third quarter. Game 2 from the Intercity tonight will be Bloomington and U-High, the Pioneers and the Raiders. Here's a 3 that's no good. Brown mistimed his jump and blocks that one out of there. How about that from Jarrell Brown? Yeah, mistimed the jump. Looked like West was going to lay it in, and we'll talk about recovering on that one. Ince now over to Mitchell Potts. Now to Jarrell Brown. Brown down the lane. Finds Andrew Nauer. 3 more. Bring it up for Andrew again. He was cold to start the game, but he's got his second 3 of the quarter. Andrew's got 8. And with a minute and a half to go here in the third, Normal Community by 14.
Yeah, I'm really glad Andrew found his spark. It's really helping out the Ironmen.
And we're going to get a foul here against Jarrell Brown.
The resilience of this team, they're coming out here, playing for each other once again, making these threes, and they're making opportunities for the teammates around them.
Tyson Hernandez will go to the line for Normal West. He's got 5 points in the contest. He had that 3-pointer that broke that 16-0 run by Normal Community. That was in the second quarter into the third. Free throw up, and he rims that one in. Well, if you look at the guys that Normal West is playing pretty consistently, almost all juniors and sophomores out there for the Wildcats. Malik Gibbons-Smith, that lone senior for Normal West. So a young Wildcat team once again. That one around and out. Rebound picked out of there by Mitchell Potts. Normal Community playing a lot of juniors. Chase Caston, the sophomore as well. Mackay Burdett, also a sophomore out there. Here's A.J. Ince, 3 on the way. Good! A.J. Ince knocks one down. Well, whatever you guys said to Coach Witzik about shooting form at halftime, it has paid off here now in the third quarter.
They look like a new team.
They certainly do. Boy, knocking down shots like crazy. The Ironmen scored 20 points in the first half. They have 25 in the third quarter. Kellen Auxton now in the lineup for the Ironmen, as Given Smith kicks the ball over to Brookins. Brookins now will back it back up against Andrew Nauer. Tries to turn the corner against Mitch Potts. Got all the way down the lane. He missed it inside. Rebound won't go. Fought for and picked out of there by Sykes. He gets it an hour. Nauer all the way down, spins it up, and Andrew Nauer with the English. Down it goes inside.
What a finish, man. That was really impressive.
18-point game. Given Smith down the lane, cut off by Augston. Now goes back down the lane. And we're going to get a foul here against the Ironmen as we get a push. And we'll see who this is against. Is it going to be against Kellen here? And it looks like that's going to be the call.
You know, Kellen on the court, he kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. He's by far the biggest guy on the court.
He can move, though, I'll tell you that. And Kellen coming off an outstanding football season this year, off the defensive line for Normal Community. And the free throw is no good, as that's Kendall Sanchez at the free throw line. 47-29. This was an 8-point Normal West lead in the second quarter. It has literally been all Normal Community ever since. Misses them both. Potts now with 3. Mitch Potts. How about Mitchell all the way down, coast to coast, and he'll get to the free throw line. I saw Mitch play a lot on the sophomore team a year ago. He's going to be a nice contributor for the Ironmen this year. Also, Daniel Sykes coming off that sophomore team, seeing quite a few minutes here so far tonight. And you saw right away the coaching staff, they went to the bench pretty early in that first quarter. They got a lot of confidence in these guys that are coming in off the bench. Well, the Ironmen have exploded for 28 points here now in the quarter. And this is a 20-point game. Well, I did not see this coming at halftime. That is a marvelous third quarter for Normal Community. They outscored Normal West 29-9 in the third quarter. We have completed 3 quarters from the Shirk Center tonight. Our score, the Ironmen 49, the Wildcats 29. You are watching Ironman basketball on the Inkspot. Looking for a spot the whole family will love? Green Gables at Lake Bloomington is open daily from 11 to 9, serving up world-famous smash burgers and a full menu of fan favorites. Green Gables, proud supporter of the Inkspot. Now, Yusuf or Pranav, have either one of you been to Green Gables?
Oh, I love Green Gables.
All right, there we go.
I love
I've been there
Green Gables
plenty of times before.
All right, absolutely.
It's a great place to go.
Yeah. Yep,
It's really
it is
awesome.
10 out of 10, no doubt about that. So recommend everybody head out to Green Gables. Parents, alumni, local fans, this is your chance to support community journalism. Visit nchsinkspot.com. Make a donation to help keep student journalism strong. A link to donate is located on each and every one of our articles. Well, we've got 8 minutes to go, 49-29. And gentlemen, either one of you guys, your thoughts on spectacular third quarter for the Ironmen?
Man, it was awesome. They came out looking like a totally different team. Coach Wizig told us a little bit about how they have these opportunities, they just got to finish them, and they've done that this whole entire third quarter. Excited to see what they got for the fourth.
Now we head to the fourth quarter here now, as this was a tie game at halftime, but it really shows you the potential of this Normal Community team and how good this team can be. And the Ironmen have faced this over the last few years, where just a concern over the guys they lost, but maybe kind of losing track of maybe the guys they have coming back sometimes as well.
Yeah, I mean, if the Iron played like this in the first half, man, this game would be an absolute blowout.
Yeah, 20-point game right now. Andrew Nauer down the lane, kicks it over to Caston, chase down inside, he'll lay it home. Boy, it is all Normal Community. You have to remember, this was a very competitive game a year ago. Normal West really took Normal Community all the way down to the end of the contest and lost by 5. The Ironmen really took it to them that game in February and then won the game in the regional as well. Didn't cruise in that game, but had a comfortable margin most of the way. This one has gotten away from the Wildcats here tonight. 51-29 now, here with 7:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Again, a really young Normal West team, as it was a year ago. Hernandez now spinning, shot up, that's no good, rebound pulled down, and now we see the freshman for the first time. Edison Wolf is a freshman. He's a transfer over, came over from Cornerstone a year ago, and seeing some varsity action here for the first time. Andrew Nauer now has the basketball out front, under 7 minutes to go in the contest. Here comes Burdett down the lane. Chase Caston, three. That one hit the top of the board that time. Boy, Chase has quite a bit of loft on his shot. That one really gets up there. And of course, his dad played at Illinois Wesleyan. Chase be a really good player for the Ironmen. Down inside, laying that one home is Malik Given-Smith. 8 points for him, and the lone senior on the roster for the Wildcats has done a nice job tonight. Andrew Nauer, a little shake and bake. Chase now on the baseline, nice little spin, gets down inside, but they just don't have anybody who can stop him in there.
It's that height difference, you know, we talked about earlier. You got to take these shots if you're community, then you realize you're going against a very undersized lineup. You got to take advantage of that.
Yeah, you certainly do, and no fear once you get to the rim that they just do not have anybody who can block any shots, no rim protectors down there, and that, you know, the Ironmen have taken advantage of that, especially here in the second half. Caston now has 15. Given-Smith baseline, right hand, they'll push it up and draw a foul.
You know, something that you asked me at the beginning of the game, who was going to fill that scoring slot for community? And they've been rotating guys. I think that was the hardest question because you look down at this score sheet, obviously you see Trey Burdett dominating. You also see Chase Caston and Andrew Nauer. The ball's going around well, and it's finding the bottom of the net this second half.
Andrew Nauer's got 10. Burdett's got 17. Caston's got 15. And Malik Given-Smith will try to become the first Wildcat to hit double digits here, as he's got 9 points in the contest, but only scored 2 in the third quarter. Second free throw is up, and he got it. Double digits now for Malik Given-Smith, and it's 53-32 our score. Jarrell Brown now in the front court, all the way in. He'll lay it off, and Edison Wolf will maybe get the easiest two he'll get all year. Lays it home, 55-32 now the Ironmen have the lead. Hanks now, baseline, down inside, another foul here. Won't count, and I think Edison Wolf is going to pick this one up here for Normal Community. It will be a holding foul against Wolf down to the baseline. Well, Chase Caston was the first freshman I could remember to play on the varsity for Normal Community, and I've been watching Normal Community basketball for a while, but now back-to-back years a freshman on the varsity with Edison Wolf. That says a lot about him making the varsity as a freshman.
Yeah, I agree. And Chase Caston with 15 points tonight, that's a really good showing for only a sophomore.
Yeah, you kind of forget that Chase is only a sophomore. We already saw him for an entire year. There's Sean Harrison back out front. Three, Jarrell Brown won't go down. I tell you what, Jarrell's had a tough night. He's going to be a really good player for the Ironmen. Just 2 points, and even with him struggling a little bit offensively, Normal Community still has been able to open up a 23-point lead. Jarrell's going to score a lot of points this year for the Ironmen.
Definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Now the Ironmen will slow it down here. Sean Harrison is a 6'1 junior, and there's Jarrell right there. So jump stop, and Charlie Hanks will pick up the foul. Second foul on Hanks, and we got Kellen Ogston and also Makai Burdett in the lineup. Yeah, Caston's a sophomore. Makai Burdett is also a sophomore. Then Edison Wolf, the freshmen, are the 3 guys that are not juniors and seniors on the roster for the Ironmen. Burdett now down the lane, gets down inside, out to Harrison. Back out front now, and they swing it around. Burdett now, Harrison gets it to Burdett. 3, Trey, no good. A couple guys had a hand on it. Makai comes up with it and lays it home. So a couple of the younger guys there getting easy buckets. Edison Wolf and Makai Burdett in the scorebook. 25-point game. Nice job by Jarrell going straight up. Really well challenged. The Ironmen now out and running. It's a 4-on-2. They lob it up. Oh! And Jarrell couldn't quite flush it that time. But he shows what he can do, and then Brookins lost out of bounds. Oh, and I think he might have hurt himself. Hopefully he's okay. Yep, he's fine. Good news for the Wildcats there. You can see he has that really big knee brace on the left knee, and that's where my concern was.
Yeah, right away he started grabbing that knee. Didn't know if it was a knee injury or not. Seems like he's getting back to the bench quite fine.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. Maybe the trainer will check him out for just a second. 57-32 our score. 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Harrison now puts it on the deck with the left hand. Mitch Potts now as they work it around to Burdett. Mackay Burdett, back cut, Jarrell Brown inside. We're gonna get a foul. No, a travel on the travel. Boy, it looked like a pretty good play that time by Jarrell Brown. And unfortunately for Jarrell, gonna pick up the traveling violation. That might be the end of the night for Jarrell, as Carter Harris already on the bench, Trey Burdett on the bench, Chase Cast on the bench. And I think Jarrell untucking the jersey might be a pretty good sign that his next action will be Wednesday nights as the Ironmen take on U-High. If you're not doing anything on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, highly suggest you come out for that one. That's going to be a good one, and I think probably the two teams that are the favorites here in the Intercity tournament this year, as Tyson Hernandez goes to the glass and able to get one home.
Right, as we near the end of the game here, Joel, I have a question for you. What's your favorite Ironman basketball memory?
Ironman basketball memory.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. Oh, it's Jaheim Weber.
Yeah.
Against Quincy.
Sure.
Oh,
Against
yeah.
Quincy.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's, yeah, that was not just my favorite Ironman basketball memory. It might be my favorite Ironman sports memory. So, yeah, that was, that it came out, it was so surprising how it all happened.
I mean,
and so, yeah, a moment I'll never forget.
yeah, every time I watch an Ironman basketball game, I just kind of think back to that game, and I don't even know if we were favorites. I think Quincy was a favorite in that game.
We were probably the favorites in that contest.
But it was still
but Quincy had an awfully good team that year. Yep.
And it was they were up by what, 1, and there was only like 2 seconds left on the clock, and you're just like, oh man, this one's over. Quincy had possession, by the way, but I mean, it was really something happened. Quincy lost possession. Jaheim, got that ball and dunked it. Me and my friends joke around. We call it the dunk heard around the world, because I just remember that gym exploded.
That is awesome.
The
Quincy player saved it in bounds, literally to Jaheim, 2 feet from the basket, and Jaheim knew exactly what to do with it. But yeah, when you asked me that question, that was an easy answer, no doubt about it. That was a great moment, and then the Ironmen would go on to beat Downers Grove North in the super sectional, and then get second in the state 2 years ago. And without that play, that banner is not in our gym right now. Yeah, that was terrific. It'd be an interesting to ask Coach Witzik that question.
Oh, for sure.
All the years he's been coaching at Normal, and what his favorite moment is, and that's got to be right up there, no doubt. Kellen Ogston's going to get a bucket. Kellen inside. And now for the Ironmen, the only guy who hasn't scored tonight is Sean Harrison. Let's see if we get Sean a bucket before the game's over.
Yeah, glad to see this crowd still into the game. this late into the. I mean, it's 59-30 or 61. Wait.
Oh no! Chase Sennett just went down. Hopefully he's okay, as I think he might have come down on that ankle. Yeah, hopefully that's just a cramp there. Yeah. Yep, maybe looking that way. It's early in the season here, and he's going to be an important piece for the Wildcats. Well, just kind of giving you a rundown of the scoring tonight individually. Tyson Hernandez has 8 for Normal West. Malik Gibbons-Smith has 10 for the Wildcats. Chase Sennett is actually their leading scorer on the night. He also has 10 as well. He and Gibbons-Smith, both in double digits for Normal West. On the other side for Normal Community, Trey Burdett's got 17. Chase Caston's got 15, and Andrew Nauer's got 10. They've also gotten scoring out of A.J. Ince, Jarrell Brown, Carter Harris, Daniel Sykes, Mackay Burdett, Edison Wolf, and Kellen Ogston all have scored baskets tonight. There's Sean Harrison, number 22. He's going to come in for Daniel Sykes, and so we'll see if Sean can dent the scoreboard here in the last 2:05. 61-36. This game was 20-20 at halftime. Normal Community exploded with a 29-9 third quarter, and that has been the difference here this evening. Mackay Burdett now to A.J. Ince. Down the lane. Here's Sean Harrison. Get down. It doesn't go. Rebound inside by Mitchell Potts. Finding Burdett. Harrison gave up a shot that time to throw it around the horn. Sean gets it back. They swing it around. A.J. Ince. A.J. just about turned it over. He'll find Harris. Let's see if Sean will take that one. Let's see if he gets it. Yes!
There you go.
Sean Harrison puts in the 3.
That's awesome.
And 62-36 now, the Ironmen lead by 26 points, 1:19 to go here in the contest.
Glad to see Sean Harrison get his first bucket of the year.
Yeah, everybody scored tonight for Normal Community. That's exceptional. There's a 3 for Normal West. Mason Aislinger knocks it home. 1 minute to go, 62-39. And the opener for the Ironmen this year is going to be successful. Sean Harrison looked forward for a moment, now back up to Ince. AJ down the lane, kicks in the corner. Burdett, 2-pointer, good. Nope, that's a 3. Makai Burdett knocks it home. And I do believe Normal Community's first 3 was that Trey Burdett 3 right before halftime. And they have hit a ton of them in the second half now.
Just want to remind you guys that this is Ironman's bench right now, and they're holding their own against, I mean, honestly, I think they're playing really well against West right now.
Now A.J. Ince back the other way. Bounce pass. Mitchell pass. Lays it home. It's all Ironmen here in the fourth quarter. 14 seconds now on the clock. 67-39. 10 on the clock now. As this one winds down from the Shirk Center tonight. 3 ball on the way. No good. Burdett rebounds it, and that will do it. 67-39, the final. Normal Community wins it. It was 12-10 West at the end of one, 20-20 at halftime. Normal Community outscores West 29-9 in the third quarter, and they win it 67-39. All right, Yusuf, let's start with you. Your thoughts about the first Normal Community boys game of the season.
It was shaky at the beginning, especially with this loud environment. We've hit it a couple of times. It's going to be hard to sink shots. Later on, they start feeling it. We see them close it out at the end of the first half, come back out, have a 16-point run. Is that right?
Yep, 16-point run, exactly right.
Run. Then they just, I mean, it felt like they couldn't stop scoring towards the end, and they for sure adapted to the environment. It's going to be a fun season, I believe.
Yeah, Pranav, your thoughts on game number 1?
Yeah, just going off of Yusuf, the Iron really seemed to struggle in that first quarter, first half, but then, I mean, they just came out of halftime really electric, and, I mean, wow, just wow. This is a really impressive game. I mean, the Ironmen just looked like the Ironmen again, right? That second half really kind of brought back my confidence in this team. Kind of seeing a lot of these players, you know, knock down those shots that they should have knocked down in the first half. I felt like they just kind of remembered who they were and, you know, what this program is, and, you know, they're just able to come out with the victory tonight.
Well, before we sign off here, Yusuf, let's start with you. Your thoughts about Normal Community and U-High coming up on Wednesday?
You know, it should be exciting. I know U-High, they are one of the favorites here, like you said earlier, to win
Catch all the action this season.
Everybody, welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm alongside Pranav Bukit, staff writer, and Dave Feeney and Dave Witzig, head coaches of the boys and girls basketball team. It's opening week for Ironmen. We're going to be previewing the season. Pranav, would you like to get started?
Yeah, but first we're going to alternate questions between head coaches. Let's get right to it.
Coach Witzig, you're coming off a Sweet 16 in March and a state runner-up a year ago. What are you doing in practice to hone in and prepare your guys for another year of success?
No, it's going to be a lot different this year. I've been very lucky to have 6'9" guys at our school for many years. And so the last 4 or 5 years, we focused on getting the ball to the 6'9" guys by the basket because they were really good basketball players.